What's up, guys? Welcome to another episode of UGE Brothers Vlogs Savage Kitchen. I've got a banger for you today. It's actually really fun, really cool, something you can get really creative with, and very simple. Even if you're not really like a cook per se, you don't really like to cook, it's something really easy to keep in the back of your mind, even for special occasions or anything like that, is breakfast casserole, baked breakfast casserole. I was mulling through some ideas to try on this channel, and Kate actually came up with the idea to try something breakfast related. Tons of options there, of course, but I found something really strange, something that I've never tried before, which is breakfast casserole, baked breakfast casserole, which is like just kind of a really interesting thing, and something that you can get really creative with, put your own spin on, put your own flavors on, and that I could try some strange things with and see what happens. And it actually ended up being so good, so delicious, and nutritious, by the way, very inexpensive, and just all around freaking awesome. Found this a recipe, not this particular recipe that I'm doing, but this type of thing, breakfast casserole, actually on Cafe Delights, because I wanted to find something on there and try some of those dishes that are on there, which I personally think is a lot of fun. And I found this, and I did a little bit more digging to see if there's any sort of variety, and yeah, there's so many different ways to do this. So many different ways to do this, and I just think it's really cool. It's kind of weird. It's kind of like a frittata crepe, frittata omelet, all in between. It's just very interesting, but very easy, very simple, really inexpensive, and something to get really creative with, even if you're not an experienced cook. So I think it'd be really fun to do it. And it came out phenomenally. I'm really proud of this, and it's something that I'm going to keep in the back of my mind, particularly for like holidays and stuff like that, just to have out for people to like snack on and stuff. It's really freaking cool. Anyway, guys, not going to have this intro too long. I'm going to let you watch the video, tell you how it's done, and show you what it came out, how it came out, and how yummy delicious it was. Anyway, peace. All right, guys, here we go. So this recipe is so simple. It's rustic. You don't have to worry about too many things. And you could do whatever you want in terms of vegetables. You can pick your meats. You don't have to have meat in them at all. You can do whatever you like. That's the fun thing about these things. Casseroles are very rustic, very simplistic, very little work, very little mess. Well, not always very little work. This is actually a little bit of work for this, but it's very simple stuff. So what you see here is I'm taking red onion, just one medium-sized red onion, and giving it a rough chop. All I did was peel it. I cut the tops off. I left the roots on. As I might have mentioned to you before, if you leave the roots on, you're less likely to have too much bleeding in the onion, which means your eyeballs won't burn as much. They may still, not as much. And if you can avoid crying in the middle of your cooking, at least your recipe will be less salty. That was a joke. Probably not a great one, but it was a joke. Anyway, guys, so it's rough chop. Not worrying too much about keeping things exact and keeping things clean. If you don't like onion, you don't have to use onion. Again, you could pick the flavors that you want. I'm going for a bit of a Latin flair, kind of a Mexican flavor profile, inspired by like tacos and stuff that I like. So I picked up a poblano pepper. This whole dish, I probably could have used a lot more spice in this, because with this particular flavor profile. But at the very least, poblanos, very low heat. They're not very hot at all. When you cook them in there, you're just getting a little bit of that kind of kick. Not bad at all. All I did was cut the top off, took the middle out, and just, again, gave it a couple good slices, and then just a rough chop. Again, not worrying about keeping things all exact. You do want to make sure that everything's sort of as even as you can get between each other, so they don't all cook at different times, but that's pretty much all you have to worry about. So I'm just giving it a few slices across, and then giving it a chop. That just makes it easier to chop a pepper like this. But again, you can add a little bit more heat by leaving in the seeds on, but that's your personal choice. Again, you don't even have to use peppers if you don't want to. My personal opinion is I could have used a bit more spice. Next, throwing in bell pepper. I just used a red bell pepper for no other reason except that it's red and it looked pretty good at the store. Holding it, sticking it on the top, cutting it just like you see here. This is the easiest way, the absolute easiest way to cut and clean a bell pepper with minimal to no waste. Seriously. Got this from Gordon Ramsay, and I ain't ever going back. Let me tell you, this is so simple, so simple. And you notice even most of these slices are flat, which is amazing. And then you want to slice it from the inside of the pepper out. That way you don't have the resistance of the skin, and it chops so much easier. So just fun tips, fun facts, and again, rough chop. Not worrying about too much, just relatively even. That's all I'm caring about. Doesn't really matter. It's all basically going in the same place. Just needs to be relatively even, so you're not ending up with some of the vegetables being complete mush and some vegetables being kind of raw. Everything's sort of cooked through evenly. Now, you can do bacon, you can do sausage, you can do all kinds of whatever meats you want to put in there. I chose sausage, and I chose chorizo sausage. Chorizo sausage, again, to add a bit of that kind of Spanish flair to it. I love the flavors of chorizo sausage. So all I'm going to do here is actually take the casings off. Particular recipe in terms of sausage call for about 1 pound. Now again, you can use sausage only, you can use bacon only, you can use both if you want to. You could use no meat at all, doesn't really matter, your choice. But I use chorizo, so took it out of the casings, broke it up just a little bit in the bowl. Hot pan, very important. Again, now at this point you're working with a mince. Rule number 1 for browning a mince: no color, no flavor. So you want hot pan, hot oil, sear, right? These particular pans, the Ninja Foodie pans, are spectacular for that. Notice you see the dark color. Again, no color, no flavor. If there's no color and it's just brown, you're just boiling it, it's gonna end up bland. Make sure you have color. Now, you see me here, I'm doing the poblano pepper, and I'm putting the onions in there and browning them off. All the times and everything will be in the description box below, so check that out. But you just want to basically cook them at this point until they are soft. Just until they are soft. Once you are done with that, you set it aside, let that cool, and start on your eggies. Start on your baby chickens. Now, I used about 10 eggs in mine. You probably could get away with adding in egg whites, using less whole eggs. I haven't tried that. Probably worth a try, though. I'm using milk, and I'm using cream. And then I'm just going to give that a strong, solid whisk. Now, in my case, I did add a little bit of garlic powder in mine. You don't have to do that. A little bit of garlic powder goes a long way. Here, I used the roasted garlic powder. Give it a nice whisk. Work it up as if you're going to make scrambled eggs or an omelet. Pretty simplistic there. Make sure it's all incorporated. Then I'm tossing my bell peppers in. I did not brown these bell peppers. They are not soft. I wanted them to be solid, excuse me, and still crunchy. Still have the body of the pepper. After that, I'm putting all the meat in there, giving it another whisk. Again, trying to work it as much as I can, incorporate as much air as you can. The more air you incorporate it in there, the fluffier your casserole will be. Throwing in a bit of cheese. You could use whatever cheese you want. You don't even have to use cheese if you don't want to. But I used white cheddar here, and it was delicious. Once you incorporate that, set it aside, and get you a baking dish out. Make sure it's greased. You can use oil. I used a can of spray. Now, I used frozen hash browns here. Frozen hash browns. Cheap addition, easy to do, very delicious. I've seen a lot of recipes that use croissants, use bread, day-old bread, all kinds of different ways to do this, guys. So just get weird with it. Get creative. I chose to use this, and it ended up being good. Poured all your mix in there. Make sure it's all settled in there. And then I topped it again with mozzarella, because I enjoy mozzarella, and I thought the creaminess of the mozzarella would go really well with my flavor profile. And I'm a little biased, but I think it did. Throw that in a 350-degree oven for about 40 minutes, 30 to 40 minutes or so, and this is what you get, guys. A bubbling cauldron of yummy deliciousness. I topped mine with chopped tomatoes and a little bit of fresh cilantro and some sour cream there to kind of tie it all together. Look how beautiful that is, guys. Look how wonderful and delicious that is. Such a rustic dish. Looks amazing on the plate, don't it? Looks very good. Everything's fully incorporated. Everything's fully cooked. And the flavors. Oh, my God. You get this nice cheesy crust on the outside. You get this warm, sort of airy, fluffy, not too dense middle bit to it, and just flavors, guys. And that's variable because that's how cool this is. You could do so many different things with this. You can use herbs, different spices. You could do all that. It's crazy. You gotta try this recipe. And I'm telling you, it's worth it. It is so worth it. It's light. It's just amazing flavor explosion in your mouth, and it just makes you so happy. You got to do the happy dance, which is my favorite. It's just my favorite. And do it, guys. Make it. Boom, that's it for the video, guys. Thank you so very much for watching. This channel has grown tremendously over the last month. You guys are really jumping on board with the new stuff and the way things are going. And I've been working super hard to be able to get, 2 or 3 videos out per week. So just to make sure you guys have more and more content to enjoy across all of the different series we run. But yeah, it's been pretty wild. It's definitely been some adjustment going on because obviously everything's changing and everything's sort of up in the air with a lot of different things. And it's freaking been pretty wild around here. And frankly, tired. But you know what? It's all for a good thing. It's all to make sure you guys have more and more stuff to enjoy, and better stuff to enjoy, better quality stuff to enjoy, and just far more interaction from us to you guys. And yeah, that's extremely, extremely important to me personally, because it's, like I said, it's you guys who even give us the opportunity to even do this, which is pretty unreal. So we certainly need to continue to sort that stuff out. Anyway, guys, comment, like, subscribe. If you have any cool recipes or anything fun or any directions you want me to take, I'm taking that feedback and I'm keeping that right here, and looking to do more and more recipes over the next year from that. So let me know, some ideas that you guys have, some sort of maybe genres, or maybe if you have some cool recipes, certainly let me know. Also, check out ujuibrothers.com as well as our Teespring. Tons of cool merch, just like this quote tees, just like this hat. Stay Savage stuff is out. Ujui Urban Ghost stuff is out. And tons more stuff coming. Kate is working hard helping us to get that all taken care of as well. And the overall feedback for this stuff has been positive, which I'm really, really happy about. I'm certainly proud of it. But yeah, it's been great, man. It's been great. Like, just onward and upward, guys. We're all going to take this journey together and continue to get better, man. I'm bound and determined to continue to bring you guys more and more amazing experiences. Because, like I said before, previous videos, I'm a content creator, and I love creating content, and I have a lot of fun doing this. And hopefully, God willing, I'll never have to stop. But yeah, it's been awesome. So we're gonna take this as far as we can take it. I have lots of ideas for the future, and how big I want to go, and how far I want to go, and of course that changes all the time as we go forward. And yeah, it's been pretty unreal. Anyway, I'm talking too much again, as I tend to do on camera. I'm going to let you guys go. Until next time, stay strong, stay blessed. Stay savage, guys. Peace out.